Alright, hey, what's up guys? Scott here again with my next live trading video, and for this one, I'll be showing you guys how I'm managing and defending my short put trade in Nvidia, which is definitely not looking very good as of this morning, with the stock being down so much today, and I'll discuss why that is the case in a minute here. But ultimately, you're going to see how I'm managing this trade with both short shares of stock and also a brand new trade in AMD to basically create a pairs trade between these two different stocks. Right, so ultimately what that means is I'm basically guaranteed to profit on at least one of these trades and possibly both as well. Just depends on how well I'm able to manage both positions. So again here, hopefully this video should be very interesting for you guys to watch, and will give you some ideas as to how you can manage some of your losing trades as well. Now, briefly here before we dive in, if you guys want to learn how you can automate your specific option trading strategy and perform detailed trading research with things like backtesting software and trading simulations, then make sure you watch until the end of the video. And then also here, if you would like to join a very exclusive online community where you can learn how to trade options and my overall custom approach to the markets, then you can now join my options trading Discord as well. So definitely check out the video description below to learn a lot more about that. And then lastly here, for anybody who is also brand new to the channel, again, my name is Scott, and you can also find me on SKILLSHARE as well, where you can take my very detailed classes on options trading or stock market investing. And you will also find some links to a few of my introductory courses in the video description as well. So be sure to check them out, and when you join SKILLSHARE using those links, you'll get a full 1-month free trial. Alright guys, so now we'll dive in here and first take a look at Nvidia, of course. So as you can see here in the charts, if I zoom in a little bit, this stock is down pretty huge today after a series of big down moves in the previous few days. Right, so today alone, Nvidia is down by about 16 bucks or over 10%. And today specifically because of some bad news about China. So if you go to the news section real quick here and click on this article, and so as you can see here, basically there is a new licensing rule between tech companies of the US and their dealings with China. And so as a result, Nvidia says it's forecasting that it's going to lose at least $400 million in quarterly sales. Right, so specifically, as you can see here in this line, US imposed new licensing requirements on shipments of some of Nvidia's advanced chips to China. So again here off this bad news, that's why the stock is down by almost 11% today so far. And then briefly here, if we look at a longer term chart, let's go to the 5-year 1-day chart, and then we'll zoom in a bit on this one. And so as you can see right here in white, this is a pretty major support level, which comes in at around 123 or 120 bucks per share, somewhere in that zone. So ultimately, I could see Nvidia dropping a lot further down to that level, right? Which basically would be another 12 or 14 bucks or so to the downside. And so unfortunately for my position on the stock, we'll go to the trade tab now, and then we'll go into the September 23rd weekly expiration. And then right here, you can see I'm short the 145 strike put options, which are now pretty far in the money. Right, so basically at the time I placed this trade a few days ago, Nvidia was far above my strike because basically, if we come back to the charts real quick, I was hoping that Nvidia would bounce off of this support level right here at around 150 bucks per share. But again, with today's super bad news, and you really can't predict these kinds of things, Nvidia just cut right through and now is possibly going to go all the way down to maybe 120 or so. And so bottom line here, the way I personally manage or defend short put option positions that where the stock falls below my strike is I do have automatic orders in place that will short shares of the stock once the stock does fall below that strike price. And so in the case of Nvidia here, if we go to the monitor tab real quick, and I'll show you what these orders look like. And so you can see them right here. This is basically a chain reaction of automatic stock shorting and buying orders that will basically flip-flop between shorting and buying back the stock. Right, so this order, for example, as you can see here, is set to short sell 100 shares of stock at a price of $143.50, or basically $1.50 below my 145 strike price. And then the 143 that you can see here is just the limit price on the order. But really, I'm hoping to short the shares at this price, at the stop price. And then after that point, if the stock does recover and go back above my put strike, then this next order, which is a buy order, is set to close out that short stock position. And specifically, it's going to buy back those 100 shares at a price of 145. So therefore, if these two things happened, I would lose $1.50 per share, right? Basically the difference between these two stop prices. So in total, times 100 shares, I would lose 150 bucks. Now, if that happens a few times, it's definitely not a big deal, right? Because when I first sold that put option a few days ago, I collected 480 bucks in starting credit. So obviously with that in mind, I can afford to lose some money from having to possibly short and buy back the stock multiple times. But then of course, if that does happen many, many times and I lose more money than I have collected in premium, then at that point, I have to make adjustments to my trade by possibly selling call options against my put and therefore converting my trade into a strangle. But ultimately, the whole idea there is just to collect more and more additional premium. And so bottom line here, the short shares of stock totally cover my put option position. And in fact, as of right now, if the stock does continue to go lower, I will make more money on the short stock position than I will lose on the put position, right? And that's because if we go back to the trade tab here and take a look at my put option, as you can see right now, the delta on this contract is 68, which means for each $1 that Nvidia drops in price further, then the price of this put option is going to increase in value by about $68, which for me as a seller of this contract means I'm going to lose 68 bucks. But then because this morning, if we go back to the monitor tab real quick and go down to my orders for the day, as you can see here, I was able to short 100 shares of Nvidia stock at a price of $143.50. So therefore, this means for each $1 that Nvidia drops in price, I'm going to profit 100 bucks on this short stock position. And so therefore, if I make 100 bucks on the stock, but I lose only 68 bucks on the put option, the net effect is I profit about $32, right? Just 100 minus 68. So ultimately, if this stock does continue to drop further, then I'm also going to continue making more and more money back until I have an overall net profit on the combined position, short stock plus the short put option. And so that's why this position has been converted into initially a bullish position with just the short put option by itself, right? As I explained earlier, I was trying to play for a bounce in Nvidia's price off that support level. But now this position has been converted into an overall net bearish position, right? Because again here, if this stock continues to go lower, I'm going to make more and more money. And then also here as a second way of managing this position is, like I mentioned, I also placed a brand new trade on AMD this morning as well. So real quick here, we'll go back to the charts and take a look at AMD. And then we'll change this back to a 1 year, 1 day time frame. So initially I noted this possible support level right here at around 80 bucks per share, and looks like so far AMD is cutting through it a little bit. But bottom line, I still went ahead and sold a put option on this stock with a 75 strike. And so because AMD and Nvidia are both very similar companies, they're both involved in the chip manufacturing space, right? They therefore also have very similar stock charts as well, right? So basically these two stocks move in a very similar fashion to each other. So ultimately, by now being bearish on Nvidia and bullish on AMD with these new short put options, I've basically created a pairs trade between these two stocks. So therefore, no matter what happens to the chip manufacturing space, I should basically be guaranteed to profit on at least one of these positions, right? Because if these chip manufacturers continue to go lower, I will profit more on Nvidia and have to manage or defend my AMD trade. And then if these stocks recover starting tomorrow, for example, then I'll have to manage my Nvidia trade, but I will profit on my AMD puts here. So bottom line here, pairs trading is just a cool way to basically reduce risk in your portfolio because, again, by having opposing positions in a similar sector or category, you're going to make money on at least one of those positions and also possibly both, depending again on how things work out in the end. Right, so in the case of AMD and Nvidia here, if I'm able to manage these trades very well, then I still could profit on both of them by the expiration date or perhaps a bit sooner. And so with that being said here, that's going to do it for this video. But of course, one last thing, as I mentioned at the beginning, if you guys want to learn how you can automate your specific option trading strategy and perform detailed trading research with things like backtesting software and simulations, then join Option Alpha today for a free 30-day trial. And so this powerful and very easy to use software allows you to rapidly configure trading bots that will execute your exact trading strategy automatically. right? So it's the perfect way to eliminate human error and emotion from your trading while also ensuring that your portfolio is always being actively monitored and managed while the market is open. And you can also use Option Alpha's powerful backtesting software to improve your strategy by continuously testing and refining your approach over decades of stock market data. And finally, the Option Alpha platform offers a huge online community where you can engage in discussion with other traders, get answers to all of your questions, and find inspiration for new trades and strategies. And so if that sounds good to you, then again, use my link in the video description below to sign up and begin your free 30-day trial. And also don't forget to check out and join my options trading Discord as well as my SKILLSHARE courses. Links also in the video description. And finally here, if you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I drop new videos every single week and you don't want to miss out. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.